Okay, picture this. You're diving in the clear, sparkling blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea. The year is 1900. You're part of a crew of sponge divers, just exploring the depths near the small Greek island of Antikythera. And down there, below the surface, you stumble upon this ancient shipwreck. It's basically a graveyard of the past, completely encrusted with coral. But among the beautiful statues and all the artifacts you'd expect to find, you uncover something, well, entirely out of place. It's this heavy, incredibly corroded lump of bronze. Now, for a while, it sits largely ignored, because honestly, it just looks like a meaningless, calcified rock pulled from the deep. But as we're going to see in this explainer, that unremarkable lump of bronze was about to literally shatter our entire understanding of human history and technological progress.
I mean, it's a staggering thought, isn't it? If you pose that question to most people, they'll immediately think of, the mid-20th century, those massive room-sized machines, vacuum tubes, all of that. But what if the real answer was actually hidden beneath the Mediterranean Sea this whole time? When researchers finally got around to carefully cleaning and studying that seemingly useless bronze lump from the shipwreck, they were absolutely floored. Hidden inside that calcified rock weren't just simple ancient tools. No way. They found dozens of highly sophisticated, precision-cut gears. Finding mechanical precision like this in an ancient Greek shipwreck, man, it was like finding a jet engine inside King Tut's tomb. It completely upended everything we thought we knew.
Section 1. The Discovery, a 2,000-year-old secret. So this mysterious device eventually earned a name, the Antikythera mechanism. And today, experts widely consider it to be a machine so advanced that it easily holds the title of the world's first analog computer. Its journey is just astonishing. Think about this timeline for a second. Over 2 millennia ago, an ancient Greek craftsman, someone possessing knowledge we didn't even know existed back then, built this device. Then it sinks to the bottom of the sea, completely lost to humanity, until those sponge divers happened to stumble upon it in 1900. And finally, we arrive at the modern day, where we're actually using cutting-edge 3D scanning technology just to figure out what those ancient engineers accomplished. We literally had to invent modern computers just to understand the ancient world's first computer.
Section 2. How it worked. Analog brilliance.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture a handheld box, maybe roughly the size of a modern mantle clock, but it's hiding a staggeringly complex maze of interlocking bronze gears, all turning together with flawless precision. What's really fascinating here is exactly what those gears were programmed to do. As the hand crank turned, the mechanism tracked the precise movements of the sun through the zodiac. It tracked the phases and movements of the moon. It could even predict solar and lunar eclipses down to the specific hour and color. It used highly complex gear ratios to accurately model these celestial cycles. The designers of this machine possessed a profound, deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics, and they somehow figured out a way to physically manifest that knowledge into a working machine. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the sheer genius of the invention. Think about how we calculate complex astronomy today. We use modern computers, right? They're powered by electricity, displaying data on glowing screens, driven by millions of lines of software code. Well, the ancient Greeks did the exact same highly complex mathematical calculations, but they did it with metal instead of software. No screens, no electricity, just perfectly calibrated gears, precise physical markings, and extraordinary human ingenuity. In this case, the hardware literally was the software. It's a mind-bending reality that totally challenges our assumptions about how technology supposedly progresses in a straight line.
Section 3. The Theories. A Vanished Technology.
Now, you might be wondering, if ancient engineers were capable of creating analog brilliance like this, why didn't it spark an ancient industrial revolution? How could something so incredibly sophisticated just vanish for centuries afterward? Well, there are 3 prevailing theories about what caused the disappearance of this incredible invention. The first suggests a massive, catastrophic loss. Some believe the knowledge was destroyed during Julius Caesar's campaigns, specifically when the fires in Alexandria might have damaged crucial centers of learning. The second theory is a bit more gradual. It argues the technology simply faded from use as political instability grew across the region and funding for scholarly pursuits just dried up. And finally, some historians suggest there was no single apocalyptic event at all. Instead, the mechanism and the knowledge to build it likely just fell out of memory, piece by piece over centuries as the master-apprentice chain was eventually broken.
But sadly, we hit a bit of a wall here. The truth is, limited historical records make a definitive answer impossible. We just don't have the documentation to prove exactly which of these theories is correct. And honestly, that makes the whole mystery all the more haunting. To know that humanity achieved this level of mechanical perfection, only to let it slip through our fingers into the dark depths of the ocean, It's a chilling thought, for sure.
Section 4. Legacy. The fragility of knowledge. This brings us to a much larger theme, one that connects the loss of this mechanism directly to the tragedy of the Great Library of Alexandria. As a famous saying goes, buildings can fall, scrolls can burn, but the pursuit of knowledge never truly dies. The loss of this ancient computer reminds us just how incredibly fragile knowledge can be if we fail to actively protect it. Whether it was destroyed by fire, political apathy, or simply the relentless march of time, this story is a really powerful lesson in valuing our science, our history, and our culture. But you know what? It's also a deeply hopeful message. The very fact that we are studying this mechanism today, that it continues to inspire historians, researchers, and dreamers all around the world, proves that the human desire to understand the universe is absolutely indestructible. Section 5. The enduring mystery. So even after more than a century of intense scientific research, and with modern 3D scans uncovering new microscopic gears and hidden inscriptions we didn't even know were there, this device still refuses to give up all its secrets. Which leads to perhaps the biggest question of all. Was this a one-of-a-kind invention? Was it just the singular masterwork of a lonely ancient genius? Or is it simply the only surviving example of a common technology that once spread far and wide across the ancient Mediterranean? If you think about it, finding one highly complex gear mechanism kind of implies there was a whole industry of tool makers, metallurgists, and mathematicians backing it up. Artifacts like this usually don't just appear out of nowhere, right? Archaeologists are actually still out there actively searching the seafloor and ancient ruins for clues, hoping that new discoveries will eventually reveal the full story. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The crucial point is that the Antikythera mechanism is so much more than just an old ancient artifact. It is undeniable proof that profound human curiosity, boundless creativity, and startling ingenuity have existed for thousands of years. It completely shatters this idea that history is just a slow, steady climb from primitive to advanced. Instead, it reminds us that our history is far more dynamic and surprising than we often imagine. Every single time we pull a discovery like this from the earth or the sea, it has the power to entirely rewrite what we know about our own past. And I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. If ancient engineers living over 2 millennia ago knew enough to build a functioning mechanical computer that literally modeled the cosmos, what other incredible inventions might have been lost forever? What other marvels of ancient technology were swallowed by time, fire, or the sea? It really makes you wonder what else is out there. Perhaps the next great breakthrough, the next artifact that will change everything we know, is still waiting right now, hidden beneath the waves. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you enjoyed diving into this mystery with me, please make sure to learn more, stay curious, and keep exploring the incredible untold stories of our past. Catch you next time.